I almost went insane making sure that I had that Mystic villain controller team that I showed everybody earlier, that I shared with the audience. And let me tell you, I really mean, Foxnext, I did not have fun playing this game for about 3 weeks. And that's a long time to play a game, to stick with a game that you're not having fun playing. As you're watching your ability to level up and gear tier up your important characters because you have to farm shards for characters that you really don't plan to use outside of this event is very frustrating. And I have no intention of ever having a 7-star Phoenix. If it happens, it'll just happen through premium orbs. And, well, I will farm probably Mordo up to 7-star. And who else is on that team that you can grind for free? No, that's it. Wait, Ronan? If I get my minions up to rank 7, I will get my Ronin up to 7 also. So that's 3 characters that are only going to get rank up through like random premium orbs and mega orbs and whatever. So maybe Blitz. Thanks Foxnext. You gave me literal mental anguish. Dr. Dookie literally had mental anguish over this event. That's not a joke. Time out for a second. That is not a joke. And I've anyone out there with fragile mental health or mental health states that seem to, eh, for lack of a better word, not be as stable as the normal quote unquote person. And I mean that in the mathematical sense, meaning the average person. Maybe the average person doesn't get stressed out as much as you do, or maybe your anxiety is a little bit higher than the average person. That's what I'm talking about, folks. And there are a lot of people out there that have it way worse than that. I understand that, and I'm trying to empathize with that too. Uh, when a game that's already designed to be addictive like this is, and almost like gambling, I'm gonna just say almost because I don't want to start an argument. Um, People like me tend to get a little bit more excited about the game than the average person, maybe a little fixated, and that can lead to um, that can actually trigger depression, you know? And I'm not saying the game can give you depression. It's a wonderful, fun game to play, which is why I like to play it at all. But there's something familiar about this despair of opening loot boxes that is farming the characters, those nodes, getting the Loki, getting the Hand Assassin, getting the Nobu. That if I didn't make this incredible chart of information. So this is accurate for Nobu, this is accurate for Hand Assassin. I never updated it for Loki because I was like, oh, thank goodness, I'm done. I'm so done with this. It was like knowing like that a it was like knowing that a bitter relationship was over. Like in a very unexaggerated way. Like that's like the overtop exaggeration of it, but it like fits in the same kind of area. Just yeah. So look at that. That's actually over 3 weeks. It's 23 days, and it was actually on the 24th, possibly even the 25th day that I completed the Loki shards. No, it was the very next day. So the 24th day straight of this. And what's crazy is I'm relying on my red stars to fill in the gear gap because there's no way I was going to get them to gear tier 11. Only Mordo is gear tier 10, and the rest are all gear tier 9. And I'm hoping, again, that those red stars are enough to amplify their base stats enough to make up for the fact that they don't have gear quite there. But all their abilities are where they should be, except theoretically Nobu may rely, for some super RNG purposes, rely on that 70% stealth ability mode, in which case I don't have that, but I will have the ability points saved away by the time the event starts. So if that's really needed, if I have trouble and I struggle on the unlocking Phoenix, I have a few tricks saved up my sleeve to stretch out the damage output and survivability of those characters just a little bit more. Like over leveling, I can still do that. I maybe farm a few gear spots, but I don't think I can even tier up any of the characters, so I might forego even doing that, but we'll see. But yeah, to end the seriousness, I will go back to being Dr. Dookie again in a second, but Foxnext, please do not ever do that again. Don't ever, 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 ever do this Dark Phoenix event nonsense ever again, or you will see a large amount of people like me that suddenly don't log on anymore. People like me don't go in your comments and complain about how bad the dynamics are. You will just see a large blip of your game population just not log on anymore. That's it. Do not do this again. That's not a threat. It's a request. Please, please, I am humbly requesting, do not do what you did again. And I mean the meta-analysis to see what characters are the least along to unlock this legendary. Quite frankly, what I would rather Foxnext do, if you're thinking about, well, we need this legendary character to be scarce. We can't have everyone having it, otherwise everyone will have it, and that takes away its uniqueness. Try this. Make your legendary character require the newest characters that you just introduced into the game. I would be way, way more okay with that than having to do this mad loot box, this sickening loot box drive. And you know what I mean, okay? It's not it's not like uh, farming Kree Reaper right now has two loot box nodes. That makes it that makes it palpable, but only having one node to farm over and over again and seeing 0, 0, 0, you know that your player base is spending power cores. And you know that unless you grind and grind and grind in your arena, they're not getting the power cores they need to open up your loot boxes. And here's another tip. There are fractions, you use them for your shards to rank up. Why not guarantee a fifth of a shard? Just a fifth of a shard. Hear me out. Frugal folks like me aren't going to unlock more than the first 100 power core unlock. So what does that correlate to? Your free one, the 50 power core one, the second 50 power core one, the third one, the third non-free one is going to be the first 100 power core one, and that adds up to four, and with that, you'd have an 80% of a shard every day, zero point 0.8 shards. But you know what you do with that 0.8 shard? That is like a little bit of a feel good to your players. And it does not, 5 days, 5 days of grinding, 5 days of grinding would give you 4 guaranteed shards at that rate. And if that's too much to ask, that you make it a fifth, make it a tenth. Use the decimal system. And do this on every single loot box. And guess what? It's not a loot box anymore. It's not gambling anymore. It's a grind. You know what you could even do? You could even scale the free decimal. The first time you get a shard, maybe the first 10 times you get shards, it's a fifth. And then maybe after that, it's a tenth. And maybe after that, for a while it goes to being a 15th, and so on. Just whatever you change in the game so that you can avoid this. I don't want to have to do this to play your game. I don't, I have fun doing data analysis. I have fun planning when your legendary events are going to be, trying to ride your wave, your statistical wave of maximizing the amount of free stuff that I can get from you while still being a decent player and paying for the 25 bucks for the new characters. So I am supporting your game. Please do not do this again. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, Dr. Dookie is ready to go. So Dr. Dookie loves puns. I'm not going to spoil them. You'll just have to figure them out. When am I joking? When are there poop jokes? Are there poop jokes? Is the name Dr. Dookie enough? Are you just overthinking it?